Okay, I'm going to say shalom to everyone. Thank the Most High for another day. Thank the Most High for the Shabbat that just went past. We're going into a new day, which is the first day of the week. And based on this first day of the week, I thought I would go into some questions, that a few people have asked. And, I've covered some of the topics of what you would call the urban term is gang stalking. And I thought I would go into this information for those of you that have so many different variations of interpretation of how it exists. I mean, based on how it exists, is pretty much trying to figure out a puzzle with puzzle pieces that don't actually fit on that puzzle. Excuse me. So, what I'm going to show is, I'm going to get into a document. Okay, I've been studying this document for a long time. But I didn't know why I was studying it years ago, not knowing that eventually I would probably have to go into it, in this time frame that we're in today. So, what I want to get into and discuss when it comes down to gang stalking. Some people call it gang stalking. Some people call it, COINTELPRO. But it all originated pretty much in East Germany. Um, it's called Stasi, and I know a lot of people understand how the what you would call Federal Business Bureau, Federal Bureau of Investigation, which is FBI. They actually, use that particular tactic to watch citizens. But the way they are watching citizens is not the way a lot of us think it is. And I'm going to show you. Like I said, I'm going to show a document on this. Now, I think I know how to pull up the chat now. If anyone have any questions or that want to comment, feel free to do so. But make sure it's on this particular topic here. So I think I know how to pull this thing out so people can. I'm about to type testing 1 2 3 on here while I go into this. So if you see that, that means it's working. Okay, I think I know how to do that. So based on this topic, and I know some people may not chime into this because they think, well, who cares about it? It's not that important. You got other things to be talking about. Well, I'm gonna go into it because I'm not going to take the same route that a lot of people take. I'm going to show you an actual documentation to prove that it's mind control. Not my words, but research, extensive research, and I can prove actually a better source than what I'm about to get into. But I can't go into that source because I can't bring out that information uh, based on where I work. Okay, when you work, if you're contracting under certain governments, you have to be careful on what you talk about, and that's just the way it goes. So I'm under, you would say, a yoke based on an employer. So what I'm about to get into, like I said, if it's not mind control, then what is it? You have to realize something. If you can understand a tailored, sophisticated scheme, right, and you see it and you can understand it, everybody else have to wear 3D glasses, right? But you can see the movie clear as day or even clearer without them. Everybody gonna eventually gonna be looking at you when you are enjoying the movie, and they'll be like, "Hey, how are you enjoying this movie? But you don't have no sunglasses on." So you're gonna stand out like a sore thumb. So you're gonna get asked certain questions, make it follow. I'm just using a movie just as an example of something that's way more sophisticated. So you're gonna be looked at as like some type of freak or weirdo, or now mind you, it's just you. In the whole movie, you can see everything clear. The 3D images is coming out at you and everything, but you don't need these glasses on like everybody else. And so now you are considered a freak, weirdo, peculiar, and you can tell some other people that wasn't in the movie, hey, I didn't need the glasses, and well, I'm sure it wasn't clear. Nah, it was clear. And they were like, yeah, whatever. So you can't really explain to you how at the movie people were kind of like following you around or just watching you and staring at you. They wasn't even paying attention to the movie no more. They paying attention to you, at this particular time because you're watching this movie without the glasses. So even them, they will think something is wrong with you, but they don't understand that you don't need some type of handicap to see. So what I'm going to show you, what I'm going to get into is a lot of people within the matrix. I'm going to just use that term. A lot of people within the matrix don't understand that they're under a certain level of mind control. And within that certain level of mind control, they can be used as puppets. Use it as a puppet is very dangerous. And I'm just I'm just giving like a synopsis, or you would say a preface on some of the document, or some of the information on this particular document I'm about to read. All right. Now, when it comes down to certain information, like I said, I trust me, when you if you view my channel and I go into a document, I can guarantee that it works. I can guarantee 100% that the information is true. I don't just put up videos and pop them up out of nowhere just to be doing it. Okay? And I'm going to make this very clear. Gang stalking is extremely real. Okay? Extremely real. Therefore, if people don't believe it, then you understand that they could be under a certain level of mind control. That's just the way it goes. Now, it's only a few of us that understand this is real. And there's only a few others after within us how it works. And within that minute few, we still can't put the puzzle pieces together totally. But the information I'm about to present to you tonight is 100% true. And then you're going to understand how it works. And I understand how it works now. At first, now I had an actual conversation, about a year ago, once this junk started to happen to me, I kind of figured how it worked, but I wasn't totally, confident in the way they do it. But once I started talking to this individual at my part-time, and this particular person can see certain things going on, it just made it confirmation. I just say, I just needed, maybe I just need to hear someone else say that it's within my circle, that it's mind control. Okay? It is totally mind control. It has to start with the mind first before the body can do anything. Because you would hear people say, well, they're getting paid to do this, they're getting paid to do that, they're watching you this and that. Well, yeah, it has to start with the mind first. What type of psychological weapon did they use against that person for them to actually start paying attention to your every move? Okay, when you are a puppet, it doesn't matter how the puppet master get paid. Okay, you do what you feel that you need to do. Okay, that's how they do it. All right. So I just want to just show this particular information. I think it's around, it's a few people in here. Now, let me stop babbling because I know y'all want to see this information. So now I have to pull it up and do all this other stuff first. All right. Give me a minute here. So we're just going to get into this information. All right. 1 minute here. So I'm about to share the screen with you. Hopefully this thing works, like it got some sense. And you know, when it comes down to it, it takes a while for this thing to load. So I'm just gonna see if it works. And I know as I'm looking at it, it's blinking in and out. I'm pretty sure that's what's gonna happen. But what I'll do, since they want to do all the blinking and mess, I'll post, and hopefully people can. Uh, it's blinking in and out. Give me a minute. See, this is the kind of junk you have to go through because I'm, using their systems. But let me try it again. Hold on. 1 minute here. I'm going to try it again. Try this again. One minute. Now I'm going to still see if I can share this screen. But if not, what I'll do, it looked like it's trying to work. But it looked like it's blinking in and out. But if it's blinking in and out, I apologize. But I will post the link. And it's funny the way this is working because I actually had people call it deja vu or whatever. I don't deal with that, but I know it's some type of, I had a flash dream of, or some type of, intuition or whatever you want to call it. I don't like the word deja vu. That links to some other stuff that this is going to happen. And I was doing this video. I had this thing happen, this so-called type of deja vu thing happened to me years ago. Well, about 2-3 weeks ago. Now I understand what I was trying to get into. But let me not babble and let me still see if I can give out this information. Now, I'm going to post in the chat because I think the chat is working. This document that I'm about to go into. Now, those of you, hopefully you all joined this. Those of you that's viewing this now will probably need to at least join this particular live feed. You have to click on the join button and you can get in and click in so you can kind of like participate. It's almost like a class setting. So let me try to redo this inconvenience that they're trying to put on me. 1 minute here. I'm going to see if I can do this jump again. 1 minute here. Okay, it's not working. That's all right. But I posted what I'm about to get into so you all can still follow those of you that joined. Because they're not letting me put it up. Okay. It's blinking in and out. But anyway, if it's not blinking in and out, on my end it's blinking in and out. But I'm just going to show you the link that I posted. And like I said, there's certain information that I can't read. But I'm going to read through some of it. All right. Note, right? This is mind control. All right. These are just a portion of the information available on the net, which deal with mind control, mental and emotional influencing, perception, engineering, and brain functioning performed remotely, people, right? And or directly through electronic media and other venues and methods of applications. Keep in mind, these are paperwork, because like I said, certain information I cannot read. Paperwork filed in the public domain, unknown and black ops technology created within the military industrial complex obviously remain hidden. Clearly, the ability to control the mental process, attitudes, fears, and perceptions of mass America is clearly far more advanced than the average American understands. America is clearly far more advanced, right? I'm going to read that part of this paragraph one more time. Clearly, the ability to control the mental process, attitudes, fears, and perceptions of mass America is clearly far more advanced than the average American understands or would like to believe. Now, there's some numbers, right, that that is proven 100%. And see, sometimes when I get into this information, because I know it's 100% true, it aggravates it really, really aggravates me when people say, well, that stuff's just conspiracy. I'll be wanting to slap somebody, excuse me, because they don't know what the hell they're talking about. But once you know what you're talking about, and you understand this stuff is to be true, and once you've done research, just research outside or beyond what I'm giving you all. This is just the brink. This is just a minute chip of the iceberg. Like I said, there's some certain information I cannot really get into. Now let me just try to stay on point and just read some of this. Nervous system manipulation by EM fields from monitors. Right? There's going to be words that I probably cannot pronounce, but I'm just going to embarrass myself and still try to read this thing, right? Because a lot of this is beyond my comprehension. Because these jerks that run the whole world are beyond my comprehension because they deal with angel technology, falling angel technology. I want to make that clear. I want to say it again because it seems like people are very hard-headed. We are dealing with angelic technology. Period. Man don't know certain things. When you read in the book of Enoch, it shows how the angels taught man about Semjaza and Ezazel taught man about the metals of the earth. So they gave man certain technology. Look at this. Abstract psychological effects. Then this is called nervous system manipulation by EM fields. That's electromagnetic fields from monitors. Abstract psychological effects have been observed in a human subject, which means you're a test subject. They test people. They don't just do this. Hey, do you think they're going to call you up and be like, hey, man, we want to check your brain to see how your nervous system is stimulated by EM fields? No, they're not going to call you up and give you a check. No, they're not going to do that. They're going to just test people by just sending them some type of wave in the air. That's how they do it. Abstract psychological effects have been observed in a human subject in response to stimulation of the skin with weak electromagnetic fields that are pulsed with certain frequencies near 1.5 hertz or 2.4 hertz, such as to excite a sensory renaissance. Many computer monitors and TV tubes, when displaying pulse images, emit pulse electromagnetic fields of sufficient amplitudes to cause such excitation. I think that's how you say it. It is therefore, I don't know why this stuff really angers me. It's like I want to punch the computer or something. I don't know what this because I know it's so true. It just makes me furious, man. It, I, because do we understand that there's a war? This is not a person knocking on your door with a gun, or you go outside just somebody robbed you or something. Even a lot of that's mind control. That's robbed that person. They send some kind of signal to a weak vessel. All right, let me just try to read this, man. This stuff really irritates me. It is therefore possible to manipulate the nervous system of a subject by pulse imaging, images displayed on nearby computer monitors or TV set. For the latter, the image pulsing may be embedded in the program material, or it may be overlaid by modulating a video stream either as an RF, which is radio frequency signal, or as a video signal, which is VS. The image displayed on a computer monitor may be pulsed effectively by a simple computer program. For certain monitors, pulse electromagnetic fields capable of exciting sensory renaissance in nearby subjects. Talking about a person, they looking at you as a subject. They be generated even as the display images are pulsed with subliminal intensity. Okay? And it goes into the numbers. I can't go into those numbers. Or if we don't wake up, 1 minute here. Yeah, we're gonna have to wake up, people. Okay? Period. Now, hopefully this thing is working. I got stuff clicking all over the place. I want to make sure this thing works. It's probably not. It's probably like a screen that's just black. All right. Okay. Let me just get into some more of this. Let me see if anybody else wants to. 1 minute. Hold on. See. It's still not working. I tried to do something else here. See, it's good for you all to be able to read the stuff yourselves. And I'm going to try to share it again because, like I said, this information is extremely true. And when information is true like this, it's good for you to read. But hopefully, you all go to the link. Okay. Hopefully, you all go to the link. I mean, this computer is going crazy. That's amazing. Sound like it's about to blow off the freaking thing. Let me put this information. I'm gonna see if I can share it again. Anyway, now, there's some more stuff here. I want to read this junk here. Now, I'm not calling the person that put this up the junk, but the people that they know who I'm talking to, right? Method and apparatus for treating auditory hallucinations. Then it says abstract, stimulating one or more. Oh my goodness, what is that? Ves, vestibular nerve. I don't know what that nerve is. It's something that they name that only they can name. Some nerve, okay, or ocular regions with will treat, prevent, and control auditory hallucinations. Right? Portable and handheld devices for making humanly audible sounds. They got so many devices here. You know, this is what I wanted to go into. Method and apparatus for analyzing neurological responses to emotion inducing stimuli. So it's a stimulation. Now, method and apparatus for analyzing neurological responses. But people don't believe it's mind control, but you use a cell phone every day, you don't understand how they work, right? Abstract, a method of determining the extent of the emotional response of a test subject. That just sounds so respectful, right? To stimuli, having a time varying visual content. For example, in advertising presentation, the test subject is positioned to observe the presentation for a given duration, and a path of communication is established between the subject and a brainwave detector. Brainwave detector analyzing, right? The intensity component of each of at least two different brainwave frequencies is measured during the exposure, and each frequency is associated with particular emotions, while the subject views the presentation periodic variations in the intensity component. So this is clear. Component of the brainwave of each of the particular frequencies selected is measured. The change rates in the intensity of a regular periods during the duration are also measured. The intensity change rates are then used to construct a graph of plural uh, coordinate points at and these coordinate points graphically establish the composite emotional reaction of the subject as the presentation continues. Yeah. Now, behavior modification. Now, this is just stuff. Now, like I said, this document I've read over and over, and I've done research and confirmed that these things really exist. Okay, these things really exist. Behavior modification. Abstract behavior modification of a human subject takes place under hypnosis, right? When the subject is in a relaxed state, a machine plays back a video or audio, right? Recording during which the subject is introduced to activate a device to create a perceptible stimulation which is linked through the hypnosis with a visualization of enhanced or improved performance. Now, visualization. Yep, you hear that, right? Now, this is witchcraft, but you know what they can do now? They can do witchcraft on video or audio now. They can do witchcraft through your satellites now. They can send you a some type of holographical image of something, and then all of a sudden, through your satellites and through HARP, through your chemtrail program, and send you a demon, because now they can send spirits through your brain. And that's what all your stalking and your gang stalking is all about. A lot of people don't know what the hell they doing, but the ones know what the heck they doing, they're the ones that sit around and watch you and lurk. And like I said, it's hard to detect which is what, because usually you're going to see the ones that know what they're doing. They drive around in specific vehicles, colors, because they're color coded. White cars, red cars, and black cars. Those are, and people would say, well, that's a very popular color for all cars. I got a white car. I'm not a stalker. Of course you're not. They use colors that is very popular. That's common sense. If you are a spy, you're not going to get a purple car. But when you see a number of vehicles constantly over and over, three white vehicles at a stoplight is not normal. And then the next stoplight, you see three black vehicles lined up back to back. That's not normal activity. Period. So that's what you got to look at. I'm just reading. I'm going into this information so you can dissect the reason why there's paranormal activity. That's where your paranormal activity is. They're not just sitting around as a ghostbuster. That's why they come out with all these ghostbuster movies and all that junk to make people believe, oh, ain't no ghosts in my house, because I don't see some ghoul looking, ugly gargoyle looking thing in my house flying or floating around nowhere. No, they're not the gargoyles. There's somebody, there can be a neighbor that is your gargoyle. Okay, they're under some type of hypnosis with a visualization of enhanced or improved performance. That's what you're dealing with. That's what you're looking at. This is what your gang stalking is about. Your COINTELPRO program. That's where it started from. This is the origination of it. They've been doing it for years. During the time of Rome, they've been had this, but back then they wasn't using technology like we're using now. Okay, let me show you some more. Look at this. I mean, I can go over through this document all over the place. Now, hopefully, you all are reading this, and I know a lot of you will probably be at all. But I went through something like this years ago, and then all of a sudden, something happened to the video. But anyway, and that's the reason why I'm having issues now. So I'm gonna see if I can finish putting this information out. Give me a minute. Okay, give me a minute here. Yeah, it's funny. You should hear all the noise they're making outside now. But anyway, let me see if I can go through some more of this. Now, there's something I don't think I read this one. Let me stay on point here. Pulse uh, variability. That's what's called variability in electric field manipulation of nervous system. Now, this is the reason why you hear some people talking about they feel like it's something, they have to scratch their skin and all that. Well, we're going to get into the reason why. Apparatus and method for manipulating the nervous system. Manipulating. See, this stuff really, man, y'all just do not know, man. This stuff really angers me. Apparatus and method for manipulating the nervous system of a subject by applying to the skin a pulsing external electric field. Let me see if I can get y'all to hear all this noise that's going on outside. Let me just see if this thing let me do that. All of a sudden it was quiet. Now when you get into some information, you hear all this noise. Give me a minute. Let me see if I can record this noise. Yeah, somebody gonna be hacked. 1 minute here. Front door. They moved. Yeah, I bet. Anyway, bunch of people making a bunch of noise outside. Anyway, let me get into more of this information, and I'm about to cut this off in a few. I don't know if you all can hear that, but anyway. But yeah. Now, there's more information here. Now, like I said, I'm doing this for a few people so you all can stop going back and forth. What is gang stalking and what is all that? Now, this what it's all about. This is the origination of it. Okay. Wait a minute, I'm about to go through some more of this. Now, I'm about to go through the other part of this before I got. All right, pulse manipulation of nervous system. Abstract method and apparatus for manipulating the nervous system by imparting subliminal pulsative cooling to the subject's skin at a frequency that is suitable for the excitation of a sensory renaissance. Skin. We're talking about skin. At present, two major sensory renaissance are known with frequencies near 1.1.5 hertz and 2.4 hertz. The 1.5 hertz sensory renaissance causes relaxation, sleepiness. Uh, I don't know what PTOSIS of the eyelids. I don't know what that is. Well, I know what eyelids is. I can say that. A tonic smile, a knot in the stomach, right? Or sexual excitement, depending on the precise frequency used. Don't think this stuff is fake, people. This is extremely true because I did extensive research and I talked to some very high people on this. Like I said, I'm not mentioning nothing because I was told you can, certain things that happen to you, you go into this information, you start putting out certain numbers. So I can't do that. Okay. The invention can be used by the general public for inducing relaxation. So that you would say, well, it's a good thing. I can relax. No, they're using the reverse because you don't need to be manipulating anything in the brain. Who are we to manipulate something we don't understand totally? What are you? A lot of people don't even know why they live it. A lot of people don't understand their purpose. So get over it. We get into some more of this. Like I said, now high authority know this stuff is real. All right. Send frequencies. They use it. The army uses. They could send a frequency to their enemy, and the enemy You could be sitting there crying for no reason. That actually happened somewhere. I forgot where. They didn't know what was going on. They just didn't want to fight for some reason. Let's get into this subliminal acoustic manipulation of nervous system. This is abstract in human subjects sensory resonance. That's how you say that. Can be excited by a subliminal atmospheric acoustic pulse. You see that? Subliminal atmospheric acoustic pulse. Atmosphere, right? Chemtrails, metal in the air, acoustic pulse that are tuned to the resonance frequency. The what it says, the half hertz sensory resonance affects the autonomic nervous system. The autonomic nervous system and may cause relaxation, drowsiness, or sexual excitement, depending on the precise acoustic frequency near half hertz used. The effects of the 2.5 resonance include slowing of the certain cortical process, sleepiness, and disorientation. For these effects to occur, the acoustic intensity must lie in a certain deeply subliminal range. Suitable apparatus consists of a portable battery. Yeah, you don't even need that much. See, it's just some portable device, right? Powered source of weak subauto acoustic radiation. Now you're dealing with radiation. And a lot of your fire trucks and ambulance and all that junk, a lot of them use a lot of this, and then all of a sudden you feel irritated. Matter of fact, I can just go back in time and even look at certain speakings that the GOCC have done and other brothers. They'd be out speaking, and all of a sudden it'd be some goofball alarm, some fire truck or ambulance would go past their speakings, and then all of a sudden, or they start arguing. Not, there'd be people walk past and start arguing with them because they're under mind control after that happens. Subliminal range, right? Suitable apparatus consists of a portable battery powered source of weak audible acoustic radiation. The method and apparatus can be used by the general public. You see that, right? As an aid to relaxation, sleep, or sexual arousal, and clinically for the control and perhaps treatment of insomnia. But they're not using it for that. Tremors, epileptic seizures, anxiety disorder, right? This is all mind manipulation. Let's get into the wrong hands, then what? Which is already in the wrong hands. Okay? There is further application as a non-lethal weapon, right? See? That can be used in law enforcement standoff situations for causing drowsiness. Like I said, they've already used this in the military. And disorientation in targeted subjects, targeted subjects, targeted subjects, targeted subjects, right? It is then preferable to use venting acoustic monopoles, whatever the hell that is, in the form of a device that inhales and exhales air. Huh? Now, what is alive now? Is exhaling air with sub-audio frequencies. Man, look, this is the way it works. I'm going to read one more and then I'm out of here. I just wanted to read it so those of you that we don't need to be going back and forth on how gang stalking has come about and all that. No, they're using mind control, period. That's the way it's used. If you see 10 white cars, 5 white cars, 3 white cars go down the street at the same freaking time, they're under mind control. Even if they feel that they're getting paid to watch you, they're still under mind control to get paid. Because they can only use frequency, they can only use certain brain waves. Okay? Some people are under weak brain waves, and the Most High allows Satan to use that vessel as an avatar. Period. Communication systems and methods, including brainwave analysis, right? Analysis, excuse me. Abstract, a system and method for enabling human beings to communicate by way of brain activity. It works. What you think of Google Glasses is all about? The brain activity of an individual is monitored and transmitted to a remote location. Remote location. Remote location. I like to read stuff like that as a broken record because it's like very clear on how they're doing this stuff. Okay, at the remote location, the monitored brain activity is compared with pre-recorded normalized brain activity curves. You see this stuff? Waveforms or patterns to determine if a match or substantial match is found. If such a match is found, then the computer at the remote location determines that the individual was attempting to communicate the word, phrase, or thought corresponding to the match stored normalized signal. Come on, man. These people are crazy, man. But they're crazy because they're dealing with demon possession. They're dealing with Satan. They're dealing with the Nephilim bloodline. I even overheard and remembered that someone said they took a DNA test and they had 5% or some kind of 3% Neanderthal blood in them. When the highest is when it's the levels of between 1% and 12%. If you got any of that blood in you, okay, you can be used as one of these weak waves, brain waves. Okay, this is what they're using. They're using people that's weak. They can't get everybody because some of us be like, hold up, man. Your tag number is blah 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 blah. I can photographically remember this and that, and no, something wrong with what you're trying to do to me because I can see certain things outside of this matrix. Some people can see. All right, so I'm done with getting into this because it really gets me angry. So I'm not putting it up. I'm going to end this now before it fire me up a little too much. Okay. Like I said, I thank you all for actually tuning into this jacked up. This could have been better because it's not working correctly. But that's okay. So give me a minute here. But hopefully people can see the reason why I get into the information. Now I don't get into information just to try to make up a video. No, if you're reading a document, I sent the link. If it should be in the chat box, you can click on that link and you can read everything I'm reading. I ain't making none of this up. You can see where it comes from. You can look up mind controls, numbers, okay? And you'll find out exactly the reason why people are acting a certain way. Even sometimes you can probably look at yourself and you feel a certain way. You were wondering why, like, why am I? Because I've heard people say this. Why did I do this to that person? I don't know why I cheated. It's just something that it felt like I couldn't control myself. I've heard this stuff before because they can send signals to your brain. They're doing this to black people. Okay? They're not just doing it to black people, of course, but they are targeting more of the minority groups. That's why a lot of us cannot get along. You're not getting along, folks. You Hebrews that think you're African American and all these other nations. Okay? You're not getting along is because a lot of it is mind control. A lot of it and all your strokes and all that stuff. See, that's the reason why I don't like getting into this. And I try to talk to a family member about this, but they are not learned in certain areas. So they're going to believe that it is some freaking salt that give you high blood pressure. There's no such thing. Let me tell you what. Salt don't give you nothing but you're going to have to go pee about 10 times. It just builds a bunch of fluid in the body, and all you're going to do is pee. It ain't going to make your blood vessels pop in your freaking brain. That's sodium. Fluoride. There's a difference between salt and sodium. They're teaching us wrong. That stuff don't exist. You got salt. That's in the Bible. You ain't no sodium in the Bible. They're trying to link sodium and salt mixed together. No. If your heart is beating too fast and hard and all that, a lot of times they can send frequencies to your brain and give you anxiety attacks. And then that anxiety attack will cause you to have anxiety disorder because now you're already freaked out on what happened to you about 2 days ago. And you think this is going to happen again. So now it's almost automatic because the brain is a computer. It's like they're sending viruses to your brain. They can send a virus almost like to your brain. That's what they're doing. But they can't do everybody like that because some of us will say, the hell with this life. I'm going to do what I'm supposed to do. live as holy as possible. And then what? The only thing you can do to some of us is shoot us. And I tell them about it, I don't care what it does. All this anxiety mess tried to come up on me. I said, we can do what you want. One time my heart was skipping beats almost for the whole freaking day. You know what I did? I laced up my shoes, put on my shorts and a tank top, and went to play ball. When I got in the house, I was fine. Period. So don't pay yourself no attention to this gang stalking junk that they try to put on us to try to scare you. Because what's happening is when you look at certain objects, ooh, there's 3 red cars, and then your heart beating all crazy because you getting all up in an uproar. And people, I know this one person making videos of her throwing up and all that. They get up in your system. You thinking you're being poisoned. You're not being poisoned. What they're doing is they are causing your body to reject. They, how can I explain it? They're making you reject certain things that you shouldn't. You see something you shouldn't have to throw up or get mad to the point where you know you feel fear and all that. Now you're getting angry and get mad, and now you're getting sick. Your body is not operating correctly, and eventually that can kill you because they get up into your mind. So don't pay these people no attention and call them out. I'm playing basketball and you got 3 of them just watching, like, you know, hey spies, I call them out. Hey spies, how y'all doing? And then they roll out with the little earpiece in their head. I don't care. They don't scare me. Yep. And then what they do too, they like to try to scare you and have a trained pit bull or trained dog to come up on you with in a leash. Yeah. Try that again. I may bite the dog. Okay, that don't work neither. So all that stuff, man, I ain't worried about none of these people. You know, you don't fear death, then you can run over them. Don't let them run over you. That's another reason I want to pep talk y'all, because this stuff, man, like I said, they're doing certain things, and they have, a lot of people all up in the uproar. Forget these people, man. Do your thing. Just do your thing, and stay in the word. Stay in the word. Stay in the word. So I just want to put this out there. A lot of people don't understand that gang stalking exists. It's mind control totally. All right. Hopefully, I didn't get too much up in a rant. So just because, like I said, I know this stuff is real. You know what I'm saying? I can confirm everything. Like, I'm not making none of this stuff up. You can look the numbers that's on that thing, on that document. You can look it up on another source, and you'll find out that it's 100% true. And another thing people need to know too, certain things that document is stating that I just linked in, those actual devices are registered to work. Okay, I'm out of here. Hopefully this helps some people. All praise to the Father first, through his Son, the Ruach, the Holy Spirit. All right, this is my life, and I'll be doing this for the rest of it. Shalom.